Welcome. In this video I'm going to show you how to measure your lamp so that you know what size paper, which is going to look like this, is going to fit in between those square dowels and the top and bottom. You're going to need a measuring device, either a ruler or a tape measure. I'm going to use a tape measure in this case. First, you will need to figure out what the width is, the distance between these square dowels, and it'll be the same on all four sides. Now, your side length you set before is going to determine that. So really there's only four options for the widths. It's either 4.5, 5, 5.5, or 6 inches. And to figure that out, you're going to take your measuring device and put it in between. So this one you can see is 5. This one's a smaller lamp. That one is 4.5. And this one is a larger lamp. That one measures all the way to 6 inches. So you measure yours and you figure out which one of these it is. And then you should write it down. For this one, I'm going to do this lamp, and that's 5 inches width. So I'll write that down. My width equals 5 inches. Now the height is going to be different. Everyone's might be a little bit different than that. And so you're going to need to measure that with a ruler or a tape measure, and you're going to need to write that down. So yours is going to be different than this, but mine measures from the inside here to the inside here at 4 1/3 of an inch. Well, I'm going to write that down. So my height is equal to 4 3/4 inches. Now I'm going to need that as a decimal later on, and so I'm going to convert that to a decimal. There's a chart in the other room, but I'm just going to, in case I forget, put that in. So it might be a fraction that you know, like 1/2 or 3/4, but it might be one that you don't know. So that equals 4.75 inches. Now these two I'm going to take into the computer lab so that I can use the computer to laser cut the paper. Here I am at the laser graver and computer. I'm going to zoom in on the screen here so you can see what we need to find. We're going to start by finding this folder, which will have some default files in it. And you can see that right now there's 4 files in there. These are the templates. You'll need to open the file that's the same as the width of your paper. Now mine I wrote down is 5 inches. So I'm going to choose the 5-inch width template and open that up. Now the height of this is probably not set to what you need it to be. So we're going to go and change that height. So the height that I have for mine is 4.75 inches. And I'm going to do that by clicking on one of the lines and changing this value right here to what I need it to be. Let me zoom in on that so you can see exactly what I'm clicking on. So up at the top, there's different values for the location, the X and Y, and the width, which we don't want to change, but we do want to change this one right here, which is the height. And mine is 4.75. Yours is probably different than that. Notice that it made that object smaller. Now that I have that set, I'm ready to try to cut this out. First, I'm going to save it by going to File, Save As, and then I'll give it a name so that in the laser engraver I know that it's mine. And I'll put that name here at the beginning. I'll just put my initials, JG, and I'll hit save. And I hit OK. Alright, now to send it to the laser engraver, I'll need to print. So I'm going to go to File and then Print down at the bottom. and then these settings should all be good. I hit print, and that sends it over to the laser engraver. Now the paper I'm going to use is cardstock, and there should be a stack of it right here on top. I'm going to take that and put it in the laser engraver a long way up into this corner. Now I'm going to find my file on here, which I named with my initials, which was JG. So it's not that one. I'll hit the next file. There is mine. So that should be the next file. Before I turn it on, I'm going to turn on the fume extractor to suck the smoke out. And then this will very quickly cut that piece out. It takes just a few seconds. Alright, let's see. Yep, it's cut this. You might need to tear it out a little bit. Now, after you cut one of them, you're going to want to check it. And what I mean by check it is you're going to bring your lamp in and you're going to put it inside the lamp. Notice that this has it cut two lines that are cut partway through, which makes this easy to fold. And that's important for putting the paper in nice and tight in between those dowels. So when you're finished folding it, it should look like this. Now let's test this out. So it should fit in between here and here. Yep. And it's nice and tight, and it's ready to be glued. Now that I know that one of them works, I can quickly print the other three by going back to the laser engraver, and the file is already loaded. I don't need to do anything with the computer. I'm just going to put in one piece of paper, and then I'm going to hit the start button, and it's going to cut out one more. It took about 6 seconds. Now this one's small enough, and you might be able to do the same. I can fit another one on the other side of this to save a bit of paper. So I put it back in, I hit start, it cuts one more. There's two more. I'm going to use the other piece of the paper that I used from before to get my last one. And there it is. Once I know that that's set, I can use it very quickly. Now I have all my pieces and I'm ready to glue them on.